All right, well, guys, welcome to our session today. I have up on the screen right now a slide that we created. I actually put together two slides that we're going to put out for teacher use. If you want to use them, you are not required to, but we thought that it might be a good idea for teachers to have something pre-made about expectations for online meetings. And so I was just telling some of the ones that were here earlier, we had a report on the first week of NTI that a lot of the boys were coming with no shirts on to their Zoom meeting. And so you'll notice that over here under etiquette, it says wear suitable clothes. I actually originally said I wanted to put no shirt, no service, but, you know, the kids probably would have been okay with that too. But anyway, this is just me showcasing this. This is not something I normally use in a meeting. I just wanted you to see that it was going to be coming out. All right. I'm going to pop over here into Canvas. And so today what I'm talking about, very brief mini session, something a lot of people just don't realize. It doesn't take very long to show you, but it may make a difference in how you structure your Canvas courses. So how I always teach Canvas is I always teach from the modules. And as if you've been in any of my training sessions before, or the modules are the organizational method kind of for your course materials. And I am currently on the modules page of this course. And if you scroll down, it's actually a course I'm using for all my little mini sessions that I'm putting together here. But as you can see that just for 3 mini sessions, this page, the scrolling is already, you know, it's not terrible. But you all know if you've been using Canvas for a while that you can start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling as do the kids. And so a lot of times people don't realize there is a way they can condense this information if they choose. So at the top of the page, I have my section called Get Control of Canvas Modules. And so in the module, I have created a page. You can tell here from the icon. But if I click on the page, you know, something you're used to, blank page, you're ready to build it out. And so what we do in many cases is if I have, say, I don't know, I might say, welcome, we are going to, so you put some text, whatever is appropriate. You bring in a YouTube video, and you may have noticed YouTube, we had a situation where we had to reinstall it, and when it did, it goes to the bottom, and there is no way to bring it back to the top unless you delete everything, and right now is not the time for that. So you can embed a video. So, you know, if you've been using Canvas, this is stuff that you are used to. And you know we can embed a document through Google Apps. If I have anybody here who hasn't seen this, you get to see it now, where you can browse in. Google Drive is being cranky. All right, I'm not going to wait on that. You all know, if you've used Canvas, you know that I can embed the document there. So anyway, we're building out our page, and you all know that, you know, this can be one piece of lesson. All right, so here we go. We've started a page. It's good to go. If I go back to modules, at this point, and there is a reason why I always teach it this way, at this point, I can add another item to my module, and maybe I want to add an assignment. And so I might put my, it's too early, guys, apparently. So I can begin building this out and take it from there. And that is how we end up with these longer module pages and so forth. But I really like this to teach you to build from here so you understand the pieces of this. So, okay, so what are we talking about now? A lot of people don't realize, or maybe they don't, even when they start poking around, they aren't sure about what's happening, because I have people contact me and they get mixed up about where they are. When you build on the module page, you can build from right here within a module, okay? We have assignments, we have quizzes, pages, files, discussions, and so forth. When you create a page here inside the modules and you make it on the fly, it also lives over here in the sidebar, in the course navigation, in the pages area. Now, I don't know if you knew that or not, but it is also living there. So every time you create a page within a module, it also gets grouped or classified into the pages section. The same thing goes for assignments. When you create an assignment in the module, it is also grouped inside that assignment section. So remember, I've talked about the modules are your organizational unit. It's how you pull all the tools together within your Canvas course and deliver your stuff out to your students. It organizes things like the assignments and the pages and the quizzes in the order in which you want to have the kids consume the content. Okay, it's important you understand that, because now we're going to talk about, and I'm going to go back to modules, how you can get rid of some of this. I don't want to call it clutter. It's all perfectly legitimate, but sometimes you might prefer a little bit more of a self-contained lesson. So that's where I'm going to go back to our Introduction to Poetry page. And the thing about this, you're going to be using pages to do this. So I'm going to click on it. So let's say we have put together, and we have, let me admit this person. We have put together this page, and obviously you would have probably a lot more text information as you kind of build it out for what you want the kids to do. I mean, you might come here and say, 1, watch the video and think about whatever, okay? So here you are coming down the page. You're delivering like what is a poem or what is poetry. You give them a poem to read. That's where the Google Doc, for my people that are coming in brand new here, this is where my Google Doc a second ago does not want to load, or drive, I should say, was not wanting to load. Oh, we're having more luck this time. It was just a little cranky. So funny how it does that sometimes. All right, so I'm going to embed it. The thing is this. Normally what happens if you, the teacher, have an assignment or a quiz or even a discussion that goes along with this lesson, in the modules, you're used to coming out, going to the modules, and adding that next tool or item. The thing is, you can make a self-contained lesson in a page. So let's say you get to this part of the assignment and you're like, you know what? I want to put their assignment inside of this page. So they literally have one page to go to, and it's going to shorten my modules. So this is where you can put in the name of the assignment. I can't even remember what it is. Let's see, poem stuff. You highlight the name of that assignment. And then I don't know if you pay much attention over here on the right-hand side, but guys, you have a way to shortcut back into really what's over here on this left sidebar, okay? So we have assignments here, for example, but we also have assignments here. I have highlighted, and we are pretending this is the name of my assignment, and I put directions. You would put all your text. I'm going to come over here to assignments. I'm going to uncollapse it, and you will find a list of your assignments that you can use. And so I could come over here and go, well, which one is it that I want to attach for the student, so to speak? I'm going to select Poem Assignment. And now, as you can see, it's been hyperlinked. I'm going to go ahead and save that page. So you give the instructions to the kids, you tell them you want them to watch the video, then you give them all the text and information. I would personally space this out better so it wasn't so crowded together, but for the purposes of this presentation, I think it's fine. I've embedded their graphic structural analysis thing. But down here is the assignment. So see where it says poem stuff, you can see it's not hyperlinked. If I click on it, it's going to take them to the poem assignment, all right? And this one's not filled out. But if I go back, I come back to the page, and we can go back in and we can edit. So you could even come back to that page, click Edit, we could add an area, say, for maybe a brief quiz. And while I'm at it, I'll say this. Don't forget, just for the sake of kind of helping your page or whatever, you can change how the text appears and maybe make that into a header so it's a little more prominent for the kids. You could even come in, and if you have an icon or something you've uploaded, I'm not sure if I have one or not. We'll see real quick. I meant to upload something. We'll use that for now. Pop that in. So you could do this, but I could do the same for the quiz, change it, give it a better header, and then I could put a poetry quiz or survey, whatever the name it might be. I always recommend doing the name. I highlight that to show it again. This time it's a quiz, so I need to come over to the quizzes area here. I'm going to click the drop down or the arrow. I only have one quiz, so I'm going to click that poetry survey. I'm going to save it. Scroll down my page. And you can see these areas for the assignment and quiz are a little bit more prominent since I chose to use those headers. So now the kids have a self-contained page. Okay, I'm going to stop and see what questions you might have. Feel free to unmute or chat or whatever you like best. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I had covered, sorry guys, I'd covered up my chat with my participants and I was thinking that nobody had written anything. Okay, so will this meeting be posted? Yes, I'm recording it, and it's going to be a brief one. I mean, we're just about finished right now, so it will be, just give me some time to convert the video, get it uploaded and all that. It can take a little bit of time just to get all those things done. All right, does the assignments box on the right list all the assignments you have anywhere in Canvas just for that course? Okay, Peter. So it's only going to be the assignments for this given course. So yes. And then, okay. But you could, like I said, you can bring in discussions, and you could bring in an announcement too. You could even, if you chose, for those of you that may have attended the Canvas conferences, while you can't bring an individual conference into the page, like the actual specific one, you can put a link, and I'll show you what I mean. You can at least put a link to the page. So if I go to conferences, I could come up here and grab this URL. I could do the same for Canvas collaborations if I wanted to. But if I come back to modules, and I want to keep building out that page, and maybe part of it is at the top I say, you know, remember, you know, we're going to be meeting, I have my office hours in Canvas conferences. So down at the bottom, you might come in and say, don't forget office hours. What you could do is you could come in. Now, so in this case, I'm highlighting, can't get it over here. You don't see conferences. What I had to do was go grab that link. So I can come up here and put my hyperlink in, insert it. I could do the same thing for collaborations. For those of you that have ever used it, I would have to come out here and grab that URL. All right, questions. What do you think? Anybody think they might actually use this for their course in order to shorten? So if you think about it, so right here, okay, Jennifer's like, yes, oh my goodness. So, you know, here I started out, so that poem assignment is here. I brought it out, and I could come and I could do the quiz that I had and do the poetry survey. And I don't know if you all realize this, in the modules, you can also browse into these categories over here in the course navigation. I could add it here, but look how long already your module has gotten just for one day. So that's just one day. You can make it self-contained. So if I remove this, now you have it. You can build everything out here in this one page, and now you're just ready to make your next page for the next day, April 21st. So when we do that, yes, you can change the order of the modules. That's what I do all the time. So you can grab any module like this and drag the whole thing. It'll bring everything with it. In fact, my personal opinion is what I recommend is always dragging the most recent module to the top, and then the next, then the one that was just before that. That way the kids aren't scrolling all the time. But I have to say, you can build out a week and just 5 things right here. As you can see, you'll just pay, here's one day, the next day, and so forth. And now instead of having this monster module area, monster module, maybe 1 week that's so big, you've now squished it to this. So I think it makes a huge difference. Sometimes it's just the little things, guys. Yes, we have 5 more weeks of NTI, so you definitely may want to condense this and all. It also has the added advantage that if you think about it, by putting the assignment or the quiz or whatever it is inside the page, you're kind of forcing a little bit, or at least you're making it a little more work for the students to have to go past the content before they eventually hit that assignment. One thing about the modules here is they can shortcut into an assignment unless you've locked it down in some way. This way, they have to at least go by the stuff and really ignore it in order to get to that assignment area. So that might be beneficial as well. They at least can't deny they at least saw the video or the embedded poem or whatever it is that you have for your own content. Okay, any other questions? I promise this would be a brief one. It's little, but it has a big impact. I'm going to check the chat over here. And feel free to unmute too, guys. You don't have to write in the chat if you don't want to. Well, guys, this is it. Short and sweet for a mini session.